They'll run for the first time with Jeremy Langford. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It should go without saying that anytime you run the football well and gain a nice chunk of yardage, that means the offensive line did their job and did it really well. But let's give them a little more credit than that, because all week long, offensive line meetings, they're going over adjustments, counters, with line shifts, all those things that go along with it. And yet you still have to be physical, and that's what they did on the first play.
A couple of cheats there to bring him down. We see this offense, and we see Jeremy Langford, certainly a guy to watch in this game.
He plays a game with great determination, Brandon. In college, he played multiple positions before settling in at running back. He made the right choice.
7 yards to go on second down. And the slot man goes in motion left. On second down, Langford. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll try to run for the first with Langford. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rogers. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
When Derrick Johnson entered the league as a first-round draft pick, he was known as an outside linebacker with a lot of speed. He's evolved into one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL.
Now they'll look to throw it with Cutler. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On third down, Cutler. He's got time. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. Back deep for Kansas City, DeAnthony Thomas. And this one's high, but not very far. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Here we go with Jamal Charles. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
8 yards to go here on second down.
Under.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw, Smith. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And you would have to think an obvious passing situation here on 3rd and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And this is complete to Zach Miller. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
They'll come out in the pistol. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And out come the Chiefs now. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
Three yards to go here on 2nd down. Play fake for Charles. Now Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. 8 yards there on a first down.
And there's a completion to Travis Kelce. I think he's starting to come into his own as a tight end and as a player, and that makes his quarterback, Alex Smith, really happy.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll come out in the pistol. A first down carry here for Charles. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. As we get a look at the defensive starters, the secondary, they're certainly going to need to be on their toes in this one.
And you know me really well. Where do I start analyzing a game? From the secondary. And these guys have to be on point today. They're facing a high-powered attack.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. On second down, Jamal Charles. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. And the play clock's running down. And defense, now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Third and 4. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. A bullet throw, but incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Charkandrick West. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Pitch comes to Langford, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Out of the gun, Smith. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Boykin. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. This is Langford on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Three yards remaining here on second down. Shift together here from the D-line. One receiver right, that's Jeffrey. On second down, Cutler. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
The lone setback is Langford. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. Finding time. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Time running out here on the play clock. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw, Smith to the right side, and he's got Macklin complete. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's third down for this offense. From the gun, here's Smith. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's brought down after a good gain. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So the incompletion there, but looking at the pass game across the board in the NFL, Charles, week 2 of the preseason, they experimented with a second back judge, 8 officials. What did you think?
Yeah, I like what you pointed out there. Game 2, all games, the experiment happened. The extra official, the 8th guy. He will affect the passing game, but he'll also affect the running game because he'll watch inside to see for illegal blocks and holding. Just think about it this way, though. If they're trying it out here in the preseason, look for it to become a permanent deal in the NFL starting in 2017.
Play clock winding down. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Set, move 45. Move 45. 3.
To the air again, Smith. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. Absolutely zero surprise at that throw we just saw. I mean, Jay Cutler has a whip for an arm.
He's had it since he won a state title at Heritage Hills High School in southern Indiana.
Where in southern Indiana, though?
Well, he's born in Santa Claus. How about that?
That's pretty strong right there.
Nearby to my hometown of Evansville. Bet you've never been there, have you?
I have not been there, but I'm looking forward to being invited for a holiday cheer.
You're invited. Put that on your bucket list.
Thank you.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They keep it on the ground with Langford. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Robbie Gould in the field goal unit for the Bears. This a 43-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Another pistol look here. On second down, here's Cutler. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Allen Bailey in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And the Chiefs showing a dime look as they defend this third down. Now Cutler on third and long. And Miller with it over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That'll be a gain of 15 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Is able to put it through. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll keep it on the ground with Charles again. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion, Dontari Poe in on the stop. In a 3-4 defense there and against the run, a lot of responsibility can fall on that nose tackle.
A ton of responsibility, no pun intended, because they've got to deal with not just the center, both guards, and a lot of times they have to eat up double teams in order to let the rest of the guys get to the football. But how about that play? He not only did he eat up the double team, he ate up the ball carrier as well.
I was going to say, talking about puns, you said eat up the double team. Langford again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's brought down. Give him 16 on the pickup, and that'll be good for a KC 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Smith on 1st down. Screen pass to Charles. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Second down and just 1. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Smith will turn and give this to his fullback, Sherman. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you 1st downs and big plays of all styles. But you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up 1st downs.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll keep it on the ground, this time with Charles. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Second down following the run.
3, 3, 3, 3. Hey, under.
Again, it's Charles. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. From the gun, here's Smith. And Wilson has it. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. From the red zone now, Smith. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid game there in the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
Smith keeps, and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Alex Smith taking it in. And his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead.
And the sneak works on second and goal. They didn't wait until it was fourth down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Hey, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Two receivers left, one to the right. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. It's brought in by Kevin White. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset. Huh?
It really is because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Back now at Soldier Field. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. On second down, Cutler. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro stop.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. Second down here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Back Back to the ground. This time Langford. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cutler got a man and he hits him in stride. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
One receiver left, 2 to the right. On 1st down, it's Cutler. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Jeffrey will go in motion right. Back to the running game. Langford. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They run with Langford. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
To throw, Cutler. Can't find anyone open. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you'd love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know, the field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
They begin the drive with Charles. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. They come out here in the eye. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Langford again, busy man this afternoon. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. On 3rd down, Jeremy Langford. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1, you know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. What a tough loss. I mean, it's one thing to lose a shootout, losing a low-scoring game, kind of deflating because your offense never really got going.
Your defense gains confidence.